welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Today we're going to be talking about how to figure out what you actually want out of life. Big topic, I know, right? Let's get straight into today's video. I feel like there's this big conversation about finding your purpose and making the most out of your time on this earth, when what I really want to stress in this video, in this training today, is that you do not need to have a grand spectrum purpose or bigger vision, big goal, big, outside of yourself goal to have a fulfilled and happy existence in this lifetime. You don't need to feel this connection to something greater than yourself to live a happy and fulfilled existence, because I feel like that's been quite romanticized in social media at the moment, having these big goals, building a business, having a 6-figure business, making multiple 4-figure months every month. I mean, yes, that would be nice, but you don't have to do that to live a fulfilled and happy existence. And what I want this to be about is how to figure out what lights you up on a daily basis and what makes you happy and brings you joy, so that you can do more of it and in turn feel happier and more fulfilled in life in general. And today's training is how to figure that stuff out, how to figure it out, how to figure out what makes you tick and what lights you up and what brings you joy. So how do we figure out what we want out of life? And there are a few different prongs to this fork. What I'm referring to is your personal wants, and this can also lead into your professional wants. So what you want in your personal life can be to do with, yourself personally, what maybe your fitness goals, or what hair color you want, or things that are physically to do with yourself, how much time you want to give to personal development, what books you want to read, how you want to meditate, how you want to center yourself. A personal want could be relationship focused. What friendships do you want? What love language do you speak? All of that good stuff. It can be to do with the possessions that you want, the holidays that we want to go on, the money that we want to generate. And then there are the professional ones. What job do we want? What salary do we want? I suppose that kind of links in with the money before, but I feel like the personal and professional ones, as I was writing this training and this video, I was kind of just seeing how much the two intertwine, which is quite nice, because what you want personally and what lights you up and brings you joy can also be what you make money out of and what you get paid to do. And I love that, because I feel like this is something that I've grown up with, that people have said to me, oh, find what you love and figure out how to make money out of it. And, in some cases that you can do that. But it is about just kind of finding where that line kind of lies. So the personal and the professional ones, what promotion we might be striving for in our business, what role we want to get to, what do we want out of life? Let's get straight into it then. All of these points relate to your personal and professional life, as I was saying before, but they relate in their own way, which I will explain as we go through this training. So, how to figure out what you want out of life? Number 1, remember. I want you to think back. Remember a time when your soul and your mind and yourself felt so joyful and happy. Who were you surrounded by? What were you doing? What were you thinking? What conversations were you having? What were you wearing? These special memories unlock the key to what we truly want out of life. If it was on the sofa watching Friends with your partner and your dog, maybe what you truly want out of life is to feel peaceful and to feel cozy and to feel loved. If it was at a bar surrounded by friends and loud music, perhaps you crave connection. You listen to good music and you just vibe. Think of 5 core memories, things that make you smile when you think about them. Maybe someone in your memory is no longer with you, or a friendship has grown apart. Then perhaps you're craving a similar soul in your life right now, and you're craving that connection with someone. And what you want out of life is potentially to find someone that brings a similar comfort to you. So think about those core memories and take those feelings and have a think about what actually is the feeling there. What is the feeling that you want to create more of? And then go out there and create more of it. Bring more of it into your life. Maybe you were at a dance class. Bring in more of the dance classes. Maybe you were on the stage. I say this because I feel like a lot of my my experiences relate back to the performing industry, because I am an actor, performer, singer, dancer. If you didn't know that already, then then here I am letting you know. So that's why a lot of my experiences draw from dancing or singing or acting, because that's where I feel joyful. So think of your 5 core memories, and what do you associate? What is the feeling there that you want to create more of? Number 2, figure out if you want it or if you feel like you should want it. This can relate to all sorts. Do you want marriage and kids? Or is that something that society has made you feel like you should want? Do you want a skinnier waistline or a larger bum, bigger boobs? Or is that societal beauty standards? Is that something that you've taken from the magazines or the Insta, the Fitspo kind of perfect, air quotes, body? Figure out, ask yourself the question, do I actually want this? If I achieve this goal, if I actually go after this want, will I feel happy? Will I feel fulfilled? Or will I be living my life for someone else? Am I actually living my life on someone else's terms? Or is it purely for myself? Okay, number 3. What can you explore more of? To figure out what you want out of life, we need to test things out. Because how will you know? How will you know what you want if you don't try new things? And it can be scary, putting yourself out of your comfort zone. It can be really nerve-wracking, but that's okay. Think of 3 new things, new interests, new avenues to explore. Maybe you've always admired something that someone else has done, or maybe you've seen something, maybe it's pottery, or maybe it's painting, or maybe it's reading, or maybe it's writing that book, or maybe it's going on a walk. Try out something new. Maybe it's cycling. Maybe it's ice skating. I've always wanted to ice skate. I feel like maybe I'll take a lesson at some point. Maybe it's horse riding. I used to horse ride. I love horse riding. Think of 3 new interests and then schedule an actual time to do that thing, right? Actually schedule it in, make a plan to actually do it. And maybe it won't work out. Maybe it's something that isn't meant for you. Maybe it's not what you want out of life. But how will you know unless you try? You won't. So bring in more things into your life. Try things out and be okay with the testing process, because life is just about trying new things. And life is about figuring out what makes you tick and what makes you feel happy and joyful. And that kind of brings me to another point, that figuring out what you want out of life is a journey. It is a constant process. I don't know if we will ever truly know exactly what we want out of life, but if we bring in more of the stuff that makes us happy and brings us joy, then we are on our way. And yeah, just uncovering that allows us to feel a little bit more connected with what our purpose is in life. Number 4, what do you get envious or jealous of that you see other people doing maybe, or that someone else in your family has done, or someone online has done, or, ask yourself the question, in what moment am I comparing myself to someone else? In what moment am I jealous of what someone else is doing? Because we are human, we all get those pangs of envy come in now and then. But by looking at those moments, that is a big clue for what you want out of life. Because if we want what someone else has got, that surely means that we want that in our lives. And I want to stress that this isn't like comparing your body to someone else and wanting to have a different body. This is purely based on hobbies and interests that I want to really, really focus on, because this isn't about focusing on what we don't have in our bodies. This is about focusing on what we could bring into our lives that we've always, thought about doing and been envious of someone else doing. And we can bring that into our own existence to bring more joy and bring happiness. Okay. And finally, number 5, get clear on your values. What are the traits that you want to be known for at the end of time? At the end of your life, I should say. When you look back at your life, what do you want to be known for? Is it your kindness? Is it your creativity? Is it your passion for swimming? Is it your horse riding ability? Is it how you just go for the things that you want in life? What is it that makes you you? And this doesn't have to be just one thing. You can have as many values and as many traits and as many amazing qualities as you want to. And that is the beauty of life. So bring in as many values as you want to. Because after all, why limit ourselves when we deserve to have it all? So those are my 5 tips for how to figure out what you want out of life. And I spoke about those in more of a personal wanting kind of situation, if that makes sense. So thinking back to all of these then, with all of these different points in mind, how can you bring these into your professional environment? How can you get paid for your values? What values can you get paid for? If it's creativity, what branch of professional life can you go into? There are so many creative jobs out there. What values can you bring into your existing job? If you're a caring person, how do you care for your team and your colleagues? Maybe it's not about finding a completely new career path. Maybe it's about finding the great parts of your existing one. And I believe that you can think about each of these points in a professional sense. So really, that is the 5 core pieces of information when it comes to figuring out what you want out of this life. So, yeah, there we have it. Thank you so much for watching and for listening to this training. I hope that you found it useful. If you have any questions or you would like to talk through any part of this training, then please do reach out and we can have a chat and see how I can help you out in figuring out what you want out of life. So weird. Oh my gosh, I've just realised that I can use my mouse on my iPad.